Hi, my name is Stefan Nilsson. I will give a presentation and talk a little about basic greenkeeping and a fertilizer strategy called precision fertilization. This presentation is pre-recorded because at the moment I'm in Palma Nova, Mallorca. I was not sure about the quality of the internet connection here, but hopefully I will be online or maybe on phone, so I can answer if there is a question or two after the presentation. So I'm an agronomist at the Swedish Golf Federation, one of 7. I've been an agronomist for 2 years. Before that, I've been working as a golf course manager, greenkeeper, so in total for 30 years. Different golf courses, working with different grass species. I've also been involved in STURF, Scandinavian Turfgrass Environmental Research Foundation, so I've been on the board for many years. Nowadays, when I am an agronomist, I'm co-adopted, but I'm still involved in STURF. So my main interest and focus for the last 20 years has been sustainable greenkeeping and low impact management. And my inspiration, my guide, has been the best of the best, the #1 greenkeeper. That's Mother Nature. She's been around for a while and she's pretty good when it comes to greenkeeping. So I try to listen to her, and I try to listen to independent knowledge, because there is a lot of people around thinking and telling what to do or not to do. So it's good to use the independent knowledge that's around. And one of the main things is to try to assist the nature, not to control it, because in the end it's impossible to control nature. She is strong. And keep it simple. Why overcomplicate things? And one of the main things when it comes to basic sustainable greenkeeping is to take care of the cause. Not only to try to find something that will treat the symptoms, to go back and try to take care of the cause. It's up to everyone to choose their own direction of focus, both when it comes to create a good playability and a good golf experience. It's also up to everyone to choose their ambition when it comes to maintenance, to create a healthy environment for the grass. And it's important to prioritize the right things to get the most out of the energy and resources available. So a question is, what do we really need to do to be able to create good and sustainable sport turf? So in basic sustainable greenkeeping, it's important to understand that it's the environment that dictates which grass thrives and which quality can be achieved over time. We want to find the balance between the elements soil, water and air. So in my world, basic greenkeeping is to focus on sunlight, the wind. We don't want to have too much dew on the greens or the playing surfaces. It's important to work with the soil profile. It's about getting rid of water and air into the soil, because roots, they breathe. Another one that's of huge importance is to control the organic material, because if we put like a cover of organic material above the soil profile, there will be problems. So controlling the organic material is of huge importance. And that one that can be a tough one and difficult is to try to irrigate as needed. It's about to have enough water but not too much. Luxury consumption is not good for sustainability. So, what about inputs? what do we need to apply over our playing surfaces? And it's up to you. It's your choice and your shoes when it comes to plant nutrition and additives. And we have quite a lot of different kind of products to choose from. This is just a couple of examples from products that that are available in Sweden, but there is more, so this is not all. And a question you can ask yourself, is all this necessary to grow just a small straw of grass and its roots? Is it really necessary? Really? My recommendation is don't overcomplicate things. Keep it simple. The grass and nature works really good when it's in balance. Focus on balance. There are different fertilizer strategies to choose from. One example is MLSN. It stands for Minimum Level for Sustainable Nutrition. Some of you probably use that one. Very common one is to use traditional soil analysis. Some of us use our eyes and maybe measure the cutting volume. And the fourth one here, for example, is as an example is precision fertilization, the STURF strategy. And I will come back to that one. So when I talk to independent researchers, they tell me that nutrient deficiencies in the soil are extremely rare. They also tell me that soil analysis have too high guide values because no company wants to risk recommending too low values and receiving criticism. And soil analysis are widely used among the selling companies because they want to convince you that there's lack of all kind of nutrients in the soil, so they can make money from selling their products. I just want to repeat this because I think this is fundamental when it comes to basic and sustainable maintenance. It's to work in interaction with the nature to create balance, as I told you earlier here, between the different elements, soil, air and water. It's really, really fundamental. And sustainable greenkeeping is about that we should only add and do what is necessary, nothing else. That's the smart way to do it, both for the environment and also for the economy. So if we sum this up, it's about doing the right thing at the right time and in the right amount. That's sustainability. All right, a little about the fertilizer strategy, precision fertilization. It's a possible choice. It's up to you. But the first question is where. It's meant to be on a sandy soil with poor cation exchange capacity. Why? It's very simple to use this strategy. It's about using just one mix of nutrients throughout the whole growing season. And it's safe because there will never ever be a lack of any nutrient. And it's very positive because you do it little and often, and that's positive for the playability. It's positive for the microflora. It's possible for the environment. The next question is how. It's based on the grass's ongoing needs of nutrients and knowledge of how this varies during the growing season. You know, it grows more when it's sun outside and warm weather. So it's not that much in the spring, it's more in the summer and less in the autumn, of course. We know that all plants require the same 40 nutrients in a constant proportion. and we try to aim for like 3% nitrogen in the dry clippings. It gives the grass a growth of like 50-60% of its maximum. And when we have 50-60% of maximum growth, it provides a good color, good quality, root growth, and a greater carbohydrate reserves. That's very, very positive when it comes to more stressful situations. And here we have the proportion between all the nutrients in this fertilizer mix. So if you put nitrogen to 100, it should be 65% of the amount of nutrients in potassium, 14% of the amount of nitrogen in phosphorus, and so on. And if you look into the B column, that's the targets, the minimum levels of the contents in the grass clipping if you do an analyze, if you analyze the grass clipping. The amount of N nitrogen varies between different grass species. So in theory, kilo N per hectare. In the northern part of Europe, Scandinavia, probably in the Netherlands, to reach this 3% that gives a good plant health. For creeping bent, it's around 160 kilo per year. Annual meadowgrass, it's 180. And for common bent, less, 110, and even less for red fescue, between 50 and 80 kilo per hectare. Depends on if it's trichophila or comitata. So the need for applying fertilizer when you use this strategy is maybe every 7 to 14 days. You do it in small doses, and it varies where you are in the world, in Europe. For example, here you have this blue line is for the southern part of Scandinavia, and you have the red one is more up north, because spring is coming later, of course, to the north part of Scandinavia. So here is the doses of nitrogen on this left side. And you do this because when it's cold and a little sunlight, there is less growth and less need for nutrients, because we apply nutrients to achieve this photosynthesis. When it gets warmer and more sunlight, there is more need for fertilizer. And the opposite, of course, when it comes to the autumn. I also want to comment a little about potassium, because it's very common that there are more potassium in products that are meant to be used in the autumn. And here we have Doug Soldat up in the right corner, professor from Wisconsin, and he's been looking into potassium for many, many years. And he says that if you overdo it with potassium, that will benefit snow mold. So there is no reason to overdo it with potassium. So this proportion that we talked about earlier, like 100 when it comes to nitrogen, 12-14 when it comes to phosphorus, and 65 when it comes to potassium. It's no reason. It will not do any benefit to change that or overdo it with the potassium. So do grass plants need extra potassium in autumn? No. So the answer is no. It will benefit snow mold. What about phosphorus? Phosphorus is important when sowing and root development in young plants. We know that. The need for phosphorus is about 12% of the amount of nitrogen. And there is new research that shows that in established grass surfaces there are often enough of phosphorus. So application is probably not necessary for a long time to come. And one other thing is that phosphorus is benefit the seeding for POA. So if you're aiming to try to keep out POA, you should consider not to apply phosphorus. And some greenkeepers, they like to use extra phosphorus in the spring. And the question is that necessary? Is it possible to force phosphorus into the plant? Do that benefit anything? And the researcher says, no, you can't force it. So extra phosphorus, more than 12-14% of the amount of nitrogen is not doable. I said that basic sustainable greenkeeping is about doing the right thing at the right time and in the right amount, and that's for sure true when it comes to autumn fertilization, because new knowledge says that it's a benefit to fertilize a little even after the last cut, maybe 2 weeks after, and because that benefits the green up in the spring. But you need to do it in small doses weekly. So more than 0.03 kilo N per 100 square meter and week, that benefits no mold. So I think this is interesting, because if you increase the amount of nitrogen per week from 0.03 to 0.05, that will probably give 4 to 5 times more snow mold. So doing the right thing at the right time and in the right amount, that's critical for sustainable greenkeeping. So what about additive products? There is a wide range of different kind of products available. You can buy hormones, you can buy vitamins, you can buy amino acids, and so on, so on. What is important? I don't think that additive products are important. That's not where focus should be. It's more important, and you will have much more success if you focus on a good growing environment for grass and do not focus on products. I think the big part of greenkeeping should be on trying to do this basics, to find the balance between the elements soil, water and air, and work with the roots to create a better environment for the roots. That's the key for sustainable, healthy greenkeeping. So if you're more curious about precision fertilization, if I have managed to get you interested, you can always go in and download the handbook. You have the address here, but it's easier to go into STURF website, www.sturf.org. There you can find the handbook, and you can find a webinar where we talk more about precision fertilization. And if you're not familiar to STURF and the website, I really recommend you to spend some time there, because there is a lot of independent knowledge which are good for basic sustainable greenkeeping. There are fact sheets about all kind of things, and handbooks and articles. So do that. So I'm down to my last slide here. I just want to do some advertising, because in less than 2 months there will be a conference in Copenhagen. It's not far from the Netherlands, This conference is an international turfgrass research conference. It appears every 4th year around the world, and this year it's time for Scandinavia and Copenhagen. And I really recommend to consider to go there, because the whole conference is for a whole week, but we have created a special day here. So me and my friend Stefan Nilsson, course manager at Copenhagen Golf Club, we have set up a program for a practitioner day for greenkeepers. So on Tuesday there will be 16 researchers talking about their knowledge and research, and this knowledge is direct applicable on our golf courses. That is an interesting program. And when you are in Copenhagen, you're taking part of this practitioner day, you can also join us for a dinner at Zweedse Golf Club in the evening, and the theme for the dinner is Eat Your Golf Course. So things that you can find on our golf courses in Scandinavia will be served at this dinner. And the day after, on Wednesday, you can sign up for a technical tour. The whole conference will go out on a technical tour, and I think it's 5 or 6 different tours you can choose from. So in total, the cost for those 2 days, including the dinner at Furusö Eat Your Golf Course, is 175 euros. So, well, yeah, I hope I will see you in Copenhagen. So go in and check the website and go to action. Thank you.